I have something in common with every single person in this room. And that's everyone in the world, really. And that is that each and every single one of us, we want to be happy. It's something that we all yearn for, something that we know, really deep down, that when we finally achieve that elusive thing called happiness, then we'll have made it in life. Of course, we all know the term, the pursuit of happiness, right? Everybody's heard that. But frankly, most of us really don't know how to pursue happiness because we can't even find the road that leads there. Most of us don't know that happiness is something that can actually be achieved. So with that said, I want to share with you, within the next 5 minutes, 3 practices that will get you on the road to happiness. 3 keys and practices that you can take home with you tonight. Tonight, to begin to create long-lasting joy and happiness in your own life. 3 practices that will, if practiced, will get you on the road to happiness. You guys ready?
Ready.
Yes? All right. Practice number 1 is gratitude. I will never forget flying to Nicaragua on a surf trip. And I landed in the capital city of Managua. And as we're driving to our destination out of Managua, on the side of the road, I see this town of tents. Tents. And in this town of tents, on the side of the road, I see a little boy, a little Nicaraguan boy, and he's playing with a plastic grocery bag. And he's using it as kind of a makeshift kite. And in this moment, I felt incredible sadness. But then I saw this boy's face. And my feeling of sadness turned to that of wonder. Because on this boy's face, I saw the most incredible smile I just about ever seen in my life. Smiling. This boy was smiling. And as my feeling of sadness turned to that of wonder, I thought of an interesting contrast between this boy who was financially poor and seemed utterly happy, and all the people who were financially rich and were utterly miserable. And I asked myself, why? And the answer in this instance is gratitude, the ability and practice of appreciating the things that you already do have in your life right now. So the idea here is to focus on wanting what you already have rather than focusing on having what you want. Does that make sense? Yes? All right. See, the happiest people in the world appreciate the things that they already have in their lives right now. Just like this little boy who appreciated a plastic bag to play with. And more than likely a tent to sleep under. So what do you have in your life right now where you can practice gratitude? Practice number 1 is gratitude. Practice number 2, perspective. Now this one is a little more difficult to implement into your life, but one that if practiced, frankly, will get you leaps and bounds on the road to happiness. The idea here is that if a bad event happens in your life, something horrible has happened, to not dwell and focus on how horrible this situation is, but instead to choose to find perspective, to find opportunity, to find what is good in the situation. Now easier said than done, yes? Yes. That's why we call these practices, and this one especially will take some effort to implement into your life. Just a few years ago, my ex-girlfriend and I broke up. I lost my job, and I was financially poor, broke. But I have to be honest with you, I could have easily sat in this moment and dwelled on how horrible the situation was. But I was sick of being sad. I was so sick of it. So I chose to focus and find perspective. I chose to find opportunity. I saw the perspective that yes, I didn't have a job, but now I had all the time in the world to create my dream career of helping people create their dream lives. Yes, I was broke, but I found perspective in the fact that I also had no debt. Wow. I had $10 in my wallet, more than most people have because they're in debt. Yes, I was single, but I found perspective in the fact that, you guys, I was single. So what events are happening in your life right now? What bad events are happening? And how can you choose to find positive perspective within them? Practice number 2 is perspective. Practice number 3, smile. Now we all know that happiness makes us smile, of course. But did you know scientific studies show that smiling will in fact also make you happy? One of the best things you can do for yourself if you feel down, sad, or even depressed is to fake a smile. By doing this, you're literally, your facial muscles are tricking your brain into thinking happy thoughts, and this perpetuates more happiness throughout the day, right? And you're releasing a neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is essentially the natural feel-good drug. But the best part about smiling really is that it's contagious. So you start smiling, and everybody else around you starts to smile too. And how beautiful is that? I challenge you every day for the next 2 weeks to smile when you don't feel like it, and just see what begins to happen in your own life, and see what happens in other people's lives around you as well. It's actually pretty incredible. Practice number 3 is to smile. So in our 3 practices of happiness, we've learned that really happiness is not what happens to you, but instead how you choose to react to the things that happen to you. Do you see? So I've given you the 3 practices of happiness, okay? Gratitude, perspective, and smile. Who can tell me what that acronym stands for? Anybody? Gratitude, perspective, and smile. What's the acronym?
GPS.
GPS. Now I promise you, you're never going to forget it. So whenever you feel down, whenever you feel sad, depressed, miserable, and you feel lost, and you cannot seem to find the road back to happiness, all you have to remember to do is follow the GPS. Thank you.